Sai Ram. One of the most interesting and engrossing questions that you can ask a Sai devotee is, how did you come to Swami? Or how did you get to know Swami? The answers that come will be a cascade of divine experiences, each unique in its own way and each fantastic in its own way. However, there is a slight error in this question. This is because it is not as if we have come to Swami or we have got to know of Swami. It is Swami, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, who chose to reveal himself to us. Though our own life experiences make it seem as if we got to know of Swami in the most natural manner. There are those few experiences that prove beyond doubt that Swami in our lives is not a chance or some good luck incident. It is His will and His revelation to us. One such experience is that of the former director of police in Baghdad, Iraq. This experience that spanned from almost 1977 to 2004 is something that will leave us stunned and thrilled at the same time. Iraq is a country with a very checkered and difficult history and a very checkered and difficult geography as well. It has been through the extremes of peace and being shredded to pieces. It has seen times of great prosperity and at the same time it has seen times of great struggle, strife, war. It is in this country that Mr. Yasin Dawood Sulaiman was the director of the police forces at Baghdad. He served sincerely and to the best of his abilities for several years. And then that point came in his life when he felt that he had to do what his conscience tells. As the director of police, he was forced, because of political reasons, to do many things that his heart and conscience didn't agree to. So, in 1977, he decided that enough was enough. He quit his job, left the country and moved over to Turkey. From Turkey, he moved over to Bulgaria. He began to develop and progress as a businessman and he did very well in his business. In the April of 2003, there was a big watershed movement for Iraq. It was at this time that the American armed forces overthrew Mr. Saddam Hussein, who was the president of Iraq at that point in time. It was a time of great change, positive and negative upheavals in the country. At that point in time, Mr. Yasin Dawood Sulaiman felt that he must return back to Iraq along with his wife, Mrs. Amira Ali. Husband and wife returned to Iraq. Though he was happy to be back in his home country, he wasn't happy with the situation that existed there. There was a lot of violence, there was bombing, shelling going on. Every day he would read very, very terrifying news and terrible news of people dying, people starving, people suffering. His heart was just ripped apart. He wanted his country to be in peace. He began to pray to Allah. He prayed to his Allah day in and day out, seeking peace, love and harmony. That was when one day he heard a voice from within. A voice that told him to seek out a holy man.
Before about 2 years, 2 months ago, I feel that a great holy man called me. I tell my wife also, I feel a holy great man called me that to blessing me and to help me and to help our people.
He did not understand from where this voice was coming, but he knew it was somewhere deep within. That voice also told him to search for this holy man in India. And when it became too much, he told his wife, "Let's go to India." She was surprised. She said, "For what?" He said, let's go and find a holy man. Where? In India. Yes, but India is a very big country. It's bigger than Iraq. Where in India? I don't know. What do you want us to do then? Let's pack up and go to India. The wife thought that the husband was crazy, and rightly so. Yet, she was faithful, she was loyal. She decided to support her husband. She said, okay, if you feel it so strongly, I am with you in this. At that point in time, the civilian airport at Baghdad wasn't open. There was no way to fly out of Iraq. That is why husband and wife had to travel by road, traveling from Iraq to the neighboring country of Iran. And now they had to travel through the entire country of Iran before crossing into Pakistan. From the frying pan into the fire in terms of difficult places to be in. And it's not as if they were having a lot of money. It's not as if they had a very concrete plan. They were just following the strong voice that had come from within. They knew they had to get to India and they had to find the holy man. In fact, it's not as if they knew as well. The wife was just sharing the aspirations and ambitions of her husband. Mr. Yasin was very, very clear that this is what he had to do. From Pakistan, they moved to the city of the Golden Temple, Amritsar. From Amritsar, they moved to the capital city in India, New Delhi. Then, they went to the ticket counter at the Delhi railway station. A lady was seated there. Mr. Yasin went to her and asked her, how do I meet a holy man in India? She said, you must go south. Where to in south? And Mr. Yasin later recollected that she named some town from Dharmavar. He was not able to recollect that name, but the town she had mentioned was Dharmavaram, because from Dharmavaram they could go to Puttaparthi. That's what happened. Even as the couple got down at Dharmavaram, Mr. Yasin saw a photograph of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Just one look at that photograph, he knew that he had arrived at the destination. He was so happy, he was thrilled, and he knew this is the holy man that I have to meet. And so husband and wife traveled to Prashantinilayam, only to find out, much to their disappointment, that Swami wasn't there. Swami was in Bangalore, at Brindavan, they were told. Now, where on earth is this Brindavan? These words were also foreign to this couple. They took up accommodation in the ashram and they attended a few sessions in Prashantinilayam. They felt very good in their heart. At that point in time, they happened to meet a well-established devotee from Germany who heard their story and was just stunned at how they had travelled all that distance just in response to a call from within. So he told them, Brindavan is close by, buses run daily between Puttaparthi and Brindavan. I am going there tomorrow. Why don't you join me? Let's go to Brindavan and have Swami's darshan. The director of police, the former director of police and his wife, they just rejoiced at the prospects of seeing Baba Sai. And that's how the next day they travelled and landed up in Brindavan and had their first darshan. If you are expecting me to say that Swami saw them, called them, spoke to them, gave them an interview and said, yes, you have come. No, nothing like that happened. It was just another ordinary darshan session. But it was extraordinary for the couple. Even as they saw Swami, something within them changed. And within a couple of hours after seeing Swami, do you know what they were up to?
Wife, yesterday we began to translate
very
some
good.
books. We began to translate.
We have a dictionary in Arabic.
We have a dictionary from English to Arabic. After we come back, God help us to translate some books
He will.
in Arabic to let people, Arab people, have information about Baba Swami, about his idea, love ever, not heard, never.
Yes, they began to translate Swami's works into Arabic, for they felt that the Arabic world requires Swami. In fact, dear brothers and sisters, I have discovered an Arabic channel which is so wonderful and it's doing amazing work spreading Swami's message and love in that language. The former director of police, Mr. Yasin, he said that Swami's love, Swami's peace, Swami's aura, ambience, that is what is required for my home country. And I am going to take it and do my best. I pray that Swami gives me a chance to be his instrument. Dear brothers and sisters, as I said in the beginning, we do not come to Swami. Swami has to call us. Swami gives us that revelation. But let us not think that since Swami is the one who has to give the revelation, there is nothing that we need to do. It's all destined. Self-effort doesn't have a role in it. No. We may get the revelation, but will we have the guts, the faith, the conviction, the love and the determination that Sulaiman had or Mrs. Amira Ali had to follow that voice, to follow that revelation and find our ultimate destiny? That is something very, very inspiring that motivated me and made me feel that, dear Swami, I am grateful to you for you have revealed yourself in my life. Please Swami, let me have the faith, let me have the conviction, let me have the love to follow that revelation till the last breath in my body. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.